I'm fangirling so hard. What's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Elise. Glad to see you. If you're not new, welcome back. Today I am so excited for this video. I have some very fun, very generous, and awesome booktubers who have chosen the books that I am going to read for this video. I am very excited that they just took the time out of their day to help me with this video. Thank you so much. Let me just get on with it. My queen and friend and booktuber Gina Lillian has chosen the first book that I will be reading in this video. Hi icon, it's Gina. So I was mulling over what book I wanted you to read for this video, and then you posted your February hopefuls, and one of the books in your February hopefuls that you were like kind of saying you were maybe a little afraid to read because you want it to live up to the hype was Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I don't know if you're planning on filming this video in February, but I'm gonna force you to read this. Like, this is my pick because I need you to experience this with me. This is like my second favorite Ali Hazelwood book after The Love Hypothesis, and honestly, I think it's technically better than The Love Hypothesis. It's just that book has a special place in my heart, you know? So, I am choosing Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood for you to read. I'm so excited because yes, I've wanted to read this book for a while. I think I got a little bit nervous about the hype surrounding it. I'm so excited that Gina picked Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Book number 2 of this video is chosen for me by another booktube queen, and that is Ali Goodwin, also known as Just Ali on Booktube. Let's see what book she chose for me. I sent her a message and slid into her DMs on Instagram. So this is what she said. For sure, my first rec is Butcher and Blackbird. It's a romance between 2 serial killers. So it's got the craziest plot, but also the sweetest romance and great comedic relief. But 100% check the trigger warnings because it can get a little bit gory. Thank you for that recommendation and for the reminder to check the trigger warnings. I have checked them and I am okay with that. I'm so excited to read this. Since Ali has recommended this book to me, so many people have talked about it. It sounds really intriguing and kind of different than what I would normally read, but I still love that it has that romantic side of things. Book number 3 of Booktubers Choose the Books I Read is recommended by none other than another queen, and that is Kalila. I absolutely love her channel. I love all 3 of these booktubers channels. I watch them religiously. I just feel like hanging out with a friend whenever I watch them. So let's see what Kalila recommended for me to read. So for sci-fi, I'd say Hail Mary. Romance, definitely Love and Other Words, and fantasy, maybe Harry Potter. If you read them, then possibly Legendborn. So I've actually already read Project Hail Mary and absolutely loved it. Then she said Harry Potter, which I've already read the entire series a few times. Legendborn I've already read, and so Love and Other Words it is. I love the fact that she ended up recommending a bunch of books that I've already personally read and loved, because that shows me that we have similar reading tastes and I trust her. So I trust this recommendation. This has been on my TBR for a while. I do know why I put it off for so long, and that is because I read Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and a lot of people likened these 2 books to each other. So I decided to put it aside for a little while, and now it's time. I have 3 really awesome recommendations that I'm really excited for. I've heard great things about all of these. I'll see you when I start reading. Have you ever had a pizza and a reading date? Because me either. I haven't. And you know, it's a beautiful day and I needed a break from studying. I was running some errands in town, so I thought I would just do that. And yes, I know, I don't need 2 pizzas. However, it was cheaper to get 2 pizzas than it was to get 1. I'm here at Louise Hayes Park in Kerrville, Texas. It's not where I live, but it's kind of the closest city to where I live because I live in the middle of nowhere. I will be moving soon though. I finally started Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Y'all, I don't know why I waited so long to start this. I only read the first chapter and I'm loving it so far. I'm on page 23. I thought I would eat some pizza, do some reading. I also got a tea, and just have like a little afternoon to myself. Oh no. So I don't even know if I I told you guys what this book is about. Elsie is a theoretical physicist. She has graduated officially, you know, trying to get a job or trying to get tenure, but her paycheck is like zero. So to pay the bills, she fake dates people, like a dating escort, I guess. We just got to a part where she's interviewing for tenure, and I already know, I know who the other candidate is gonna be. I'm not gonna say who, but I will confirm if I'm correct or incorrect. This is already too relatable. Cece, which is Elsie's roommate, Cece and I got into fake dating during the financial and emotional dark ages of our lives. Graduate school. So I'm currently in grad school and can confirm. I was down to 2 pairs of non-mismatched socks, living off computational cosmology theorems and instant ramen. Maybe not quite the same for both of us, but along the same lines. Update for you guys, but first please ignore all of this. I have like stacks of books that I want to take Instagram or like Bookstagram pictures with, so this is like my organized stack of books to take Instagram posts with. I am on page 102 of Love Theoretically. I do have a prediction to update you on, and I was incorrect. It is actually like escalated from what I originally thought. We have another really quirky main female lead who just thinks in the funniest way, and I could see her thinking these things as like a quick-witted, humorous academic, but it does have that like Ali Hazelwood-esque writing style where like no one would actually think this way. At least I've never met anyone who thinks that way. That doesn't make it any less entertaining. It's a good time. There have been a few moments where I literally burst out laughing. We also have a main male lead who is very close-lipped, not very expressive, very tall and muscular and smart. Our main female character thinks certain things about him because his lack of communication, and I get where he's coming from, because our main male character is actually the brother of the guy that she's fake dating like through her job, but she promised Greg that she wouldn't tell Jack why they were fake dating, that she would leave that up to Greg, but Greg happens to be on like a no electronic unplugged retreat right now. So while she's going through this process and interacting with Jack a lot, he's like, who are you? What are you doing to my brother? I don't trust you. But she's also like trying to defend herself without breaking her promise to Greg. So that tension is really interesting, and I understand the mistrust on his part. I can't wait until he can actually get a hold of Greg when the retreat is over. I feel like once he finds out about that, he is going to have a very different view on Elsie. And then I feel like after that I'm not going to be able to tell y'all much more, because we're going to be into the meat of the story. It's been a while since I've updated about this book. I actually didn't think I was going to be able to read at all this weekend, and then I caved and I bought the audiobook. I'm really glad I did. It's really great. The narrator's awesome. And now I'm currently on page 336. So I have this much left of the book, which I'll probably end up listening to on my drive home. A lot has happened. I don't know what to tell you without spoiling it for you. Let's just say Elsie got some news that was not positive for her. And there was this one scene where she just kind of breaks down. I was listening to it on audiobook at the time, and I just resonated with her so much in that moment. Like, just the struggle of giving your all, no matter how much effort and time and energy you put into something, and it just doesn't go your way. And so that moment was a really strong moment for me, and I really appreciated that. And then things kind of progress in a more romantic way from there. Just like there's more romance in the story since that moment, and that's been really sweet. Really different I feel, from some of her other novels. Just more mundane moments in the same space rather than in other places, like in her other novels. I don't know if that makes sense. I can't say that this is my favorite of hers, but I'm still really enjoying it. Like, I'm having a really good time, and I'm really glad that I picked it up and I'm reading it. I always feel like I resonate with Ali's main female characters in the perspective of being like a little bit nerdy, just a little different, you know, but now I really resonate because I am a grad student now, so I understand the struggles that a lot of her characters go through trying to get through grad school and all that entails, as well as like financial struggles because I'm a broke bitch. But I really am resonating with that in the story, and even though the story itself is not my favorite, I just feel like I'm still having a really good time and really connecting with the characters and what they're going through. I have a theory that I think is kind of going to be a catalyst for a large portion of this book and like what has played out in this book, and we're gonna see if that's correct. I will update you with that theory. The last one I was incorrect, so I could be incorrect on this one. I finished this a few days ago and I almost forgot to tell y'all about it. So I think the last time I talked to you I was making a theory and I was correct in my theory. So out of my 2 theories, I was correct about one of them and incorrect about one of them. So like, I'm satisfied with that. I liked how the ending wrapped up. I have to say, this isn't my favorite Ali Hazelwood romance. The romance was just fine for me and it was cute. Like, I had a good time reading it. But Elsie and what Elsie was going through, all of those things and how she reacted to some of the events was so relatable, and just like for that reason I feel so connected to her. It just felt so raw and real. Guess what I finally started. This book has been so interesting. It starts off really strong with all of those trigger warnings. Absolutely 100% check the trigger warnings. This book is not for everyone. Our 2 main characters meeting each other in a very unique way, and then the competition starts off because Rowan, our male protagonist, our male main character, really likes Sloane. From having just met her, he'd kind of heard of her before her notoriety. Didn't just want to let her go quite yet, so he came up with the competition. Now it's kind of getting to this point where we're like in between competitions and they're starting to think of each other a little bit more and get to know each other a little bit more, and that part's really cute. Their banter is really fun and sassy. My voice is breaking like a hormonal teenager because it's weirdly cute. I don't know what that says about me, that I'm enjoying this book. This is a book that doesn't take itself too seriously. For readers who can suspend their disbelief, they will also have a really good time reading this, I think. I'm on page 101. I have read 101 pages today. I just started this morning when I was eating breakfast. Probably not the best time to start this book. Also, I love at the bottom of the pages, I'll try to show you so that I don't spoil anything, but like right here is the page number, and over here is a little like butcher knife. And that's for Butcher, also known as Rowan. And then when it's Sloane's point of view, it's opposite. So we have the pages on this side, and then we have this little Blackbird on the other side. Cute. I finally finished it yesterday on the airplane coming back from Denver. I guess that's the only good thing I could say about all of the delays that my partner and I had, was that I had time to read finally. So I did finish this. This book was so wild. I'm giving it a very solid 4 stars, and I think that I would give it a higher rating if I didn't pick it up so sporadically. I think if I had zoomed through this in a few days, or just like consecutively rather than over like a month, I would have given this a much higher rating, just because the vibes are so well done. I'm very impressed because I think she did such a good job of adding humor, adding tension and spice and action and goriness, but not over such a long amount of time. She did a really good job of like interspersing all of those things that no part of it was ever too much. And while this was pretty weird and gory and dark at times, I never felt like it was overdone or over described. I mean, yeah, it was pretty graphic in some points, but it was just like, it was just enough. It wasn't too much. You know, she didn't overspice it. You know, she just added the right amount of spices. I loved Rowan so much. I think I have a thing for men named Rowan. I have a thing for book boyfriends named Rowan. They do it different. Sloane was awesome too. I really enjoyed Sloane. I knew that the ending scene, something had to happen. Something had to happen. Things were just too perfect with too much of the book left. I knew something had to happen. That scene was intense and I love the way it wrapped up. It was just like so well done. I just really enjoyed it. It was weird, it was different, it was dark, but it was fun. And so thank you to Allie for recommending this book. It was a good time. Finally started Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I think that I have put this off for so long because I read Every Summer After by Carly Fortune and I loved it. I really love the storytelling style of hopping back and forth between the past while withholding information from the present about what happened in the past, because just hopping back and forth, it makes it feel like it goes by so quickly. You get little breadcrumbs that changes how you view the current timeline. Going back and forth gives you like little breaks and it just makes it seem faster. And I love that style of writing, so I'm absolutely eating it up right now. However, everyone said Every Summer After was just like Love in Other Words, and I think that's why I put it off for so long, because I wanted to love in Other Words just as much, if not more, than Every Summer After. I wish I'd never heard that though, because I feel like I'm screening this book to see what's the same and what's different. And while I understand that the storytelling is similar, once upon a time they were kids, they fell in love, now they're not together, we don't know why. So that's similar, but the characters themselves are very different. I kind of wish I hadn't heard that. Pros and cons of being on Bookstagram, Booktube, Book Talk community. I am really enjoying it. This is a book that Kalila chose for me, and she still talks about this book here on her channel. I'm excited to give it a try. I also thought, like, based on the cover, that this was a summery read, but actually the present time is currently in October. So I'm like, oh, this is more fall than summer, which I'm eating up because I am in such a fall mood right now. This video has been filmed over a longer span than I had intended. By now, I'm like super fall spooky vibes. While this isn't spooky vibes, it's fall vibes, so it's hitting pretty well. I'm currently on page 143. It is going by really quickly. Eli is just so sweet. There's this line that she said where she realized that he is the kind of guy you look and you look and you look for, and is so rare to find. And I feel like that was so true and so powerful, and that's what so many of us romance readers are looking for, because the few are out there. There are diamonds in the rough out there, but it's just so rare that you find them. And I just loved that quote. I'm gonna read before I go to an event tonight. It's my friend's birthday and she's having a little celebration, but I think I'm gonna read until it's time to go, and I will talk to you guys later.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, think you're something.
It's a few days later. I'm currently at my parents' place for the weekend. It feels like it's been a while since I've filmed out here, so this is really nice. It is a cooler end of summer day. It's like in the low 80s. We just had like a small shower of rain, and it's just like the perfect weather to be out here. I am on page 185, almost exactly halfway through. I'm gonna read for a little while, see how far I get. I think the last time I talked to you, I was talking about Macy's current partner, the present time. I forget his name. I can only remember Elliot. I remember that he's an artist, Sean, and I was like, oh, I can kind of see, like, I kind of feel for Sean, but they just had an excursion with her friends, and Sean was meeting her friends for the first time, and they were meeting him for the first time, and I kind of didn't like how he acted then, so I'm wondering if things are gonna go downhill from here. So we're gonna find out. I finally finished this book, which means it's time to share my final thoughts and wrap up this video. This one's a tough one. I understand what people were saying about its similarities to Every Summer After. I just wish that I had read this one first, and also that I hadn't heard those warnings. Because of those warnings, I had certain expectations, or I felt like I was constantly combing through this book trying to find those similarities and differences and see if they were proven correct or incorrect. I think that took a little bit of enjoyment away from this book. I do appreciate the ending of this book and what kept them separated. I felt like it made a lot more sense. It was a lot more reasonable than Every Summer After, so I did appreciate that. I absolutely loved Elliot. He was so sweet. Macy was a bit of a mess, but you know, she was working on it. She had her reasons. I loved Elliot. He was so sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 3.5 star rating. I did listen to this while I was at work sometimes, just on and off as I had time, so maybe I didn't give it the attention that it deserved. I do think it would have been higher if I had paid better attention or I had read this before Every Summer After. Going back to Butcher and Blackbird, this is a very solid 4 or 4.25 star rating for me. It was a very fun concept, very well done, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This is also a very solid 4 star rating. I actually would give the romance like a 3 star rating, but Elsie is like a 5 star rating. So smush them together and you get a 4 star rating. I just absolutely adored Elsie. I loved her so much. She's probably one of my favorite female characters that I've read in a long time, that I really could relate to and connect with. And for that, Elsie will stay in my heart. All in all, I had some really great recommendations. I am so appreciative to Gina and Ali and Kalila. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to give me these recommendations. I hope you all will go and check out their channels. Their content is really awesome. Their personalities are so fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. I'm so grateful to finally have read these really amazing books, and I can't wait to see what other booktubers might consider recommending me books too. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you're doing well whenever and wherever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video.